You're listening to the Blue 82 podcast, hosted by Craig and Nicholas. Please like and subscribe so we know that you like what we're doing. And now, let's talk football. Blue 82!
Welcome back, everyone, to the Blue 82 podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Nicholas, and this is episode 8 of the podcast. You like that, Nick? I got the episode right this time. Oh, shit. Yeah, we are going to be week 4 recap this week. Another exciting week of football, as always. We love it. Before we get into injuries and news and things like that, I appreciate y'all watching the videos, everything. We appreciate the support as always, and we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for y'all, so we're out here. Nick, you got anything?
A lot of controversy on my team right now, so a little sad.
Oh yeah, the
Whole investigation.
the whole Tua thing, the investigation thing. It's been quite a wild ride so far.
Everyone wants our team to be taken to the NFL, fined, suspended, canceled.
I mean, they've been a little sketchy. The whole Stephen Ross thing, the Brady thing.
Can't even say it. You're gonna say it's sketchy. Come on now.
Nah, I'm fucking with you.
Fucking, we got in trouble for tampering.
Ooh, right. Brady fucking deflated balls, and he's still playing in the NFL.
That's all I'm saying. Like, people have like
here nor there.
I don't. It's so weird. Like everyone's just hating it. It's literally like we got in trouble for tampering. Like 32 teams tamper. I'll tell you that. Players tamper.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't you remember they literally changed the ruling for free agency because every time free agency would open up, everyone's already signed.
Yep.
Like it's already done.
Yep.
There is no free agency.
It's all fucking.
But
which
I'm ready to get into it though.
With that whole tampering thing, like, I don't really understand that. Like, if you're going to sign a contract, you're going to be in talks with teams or whatever. What the fuck's it matter if you do it 2 weeks early? Like, to me, that's not that big a deal. Like, you have to, some of these things take days, weeks, fuck, even months to figure out. Like, you see dudes that are on the team for 2 years and they're still fighting for a contract with the team that they're on. You know what I mean? Like, that stuff just takes a little bit. So, I don't really get that. But, yeah, that's, before we break down week 4 games, we got some injury news. We'll save the Tua thing for last because I want to talk about that a bit before we get into week 4. But just real quick on the injuries I have right here that I'm seeing that have came in today so far, which is still early. It's Monday. Normally it takes a couple of days before we get all of them and all the info and everything. But I think the biggest one so far, at least me personally, because I have them on my fantasy league, and it's my bigger fantasy league worth a good amount of money. Javonte Williams tore his ACL and LCL, I believe. So he's done for the season, which not like he was doing a whole lot to begin with. I don't even think the dude had a touchdown yet. But my running back situation in that league is ridiculous. But sucks to see for him because he's a young guy who was starting to kind of get his stride in this offense somewhat when they give him the ball. They like to give Melvin Gordon the ball a lot, or too much. But he's out for the season. It looks like we are also going to be losing another running back, Cordarrelle Patterson. They put on IR with a knee injury. He's going to be out for at least 4 games. They haven't said this season yet, so looks like he'll probably be back after 4 games maybe. Jamison Crowder, wide receiver, suffered a broken ankle. They said he's going to have additional tests.
Wait, who had a broken ankle?
Jamison Crowder, the Bills wide receiver, suffered a broken ankle. Yeah. Another one, Traylon Burks, the rookie wide receiver at Tennessee, has turf toe, which I don't know if y'all are familiar with turf toe, but those are kind of those lingering injuries that you could not miss time and play the whole season through. It just depends on how painful and discomforting it is for him. They haven't really said anything else about that so far. but they did say it was turf toe. Jonathan Taylor is dealing with an ankle injury. They're saying he has a chance to play on Thursday night. Yeah, that's all the injuries I'm seeing so far. You got any other ones that I didn't mention, Nick?
I don't think so. I think you pretty much got them all.
Perfect.
At least all the ones I saw.
Yeah, that's the main ones I saw. I mean, of course, there's probably injuries here and there with defensive linemen or offensive linemen, but like the news alerts I'm on, most of the time it's mostly like skill position guys. But those are like the big names that I've seen so far. The last one we have.
Sorry, Joey Bosa.
What'd he do?
Yeah, he got surgery for his groin.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did. They say how long he's out.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think it's the whole season though.
It's a tough loss for them either way. I mean, they still got Khalil Mack, but
yeah. The other one I saw too was JJ fucking Watt.
Oh
right,
yeah,
his
dude.
Heart being stopped.
That I got a notification. What was it? Sunday morning, and JJ Watt had tweeted out. He was like, "I heard there was somebody's gonna leak some personal information, so I'll go ahead and let you know." I went and got shocked. I had an irregular heartbeat. Now the doctor said I'm good to go, and it's like, dude, what the fuck? This guy had a regular heartbeat, had to get fucking shot back to life to fix his heartbeat, and is playing a fucking game on Sunday. Like, that dude is different. Like,
I'm gonna say something. Can I say something about that?
Yeah.
It's gonna kind of lead into the Tua thing.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah, no, I like it.
I'm just gonna say, like, this may be a different opinion, but I talked to Janine about it on the weekend about the whole Tua thing.
Shout out Janine.
There's a lot of fugazi about this whole like Tua situation, and I think it's because he's a big, like, popular kind of player because he's a quarterback, and like everyone wants to talk about quarterbacks. But there's been a lot of like people saying like, oh, like this isn't good for the sport, this is bad for the sport. But do not tell me these people care about player safety, because if you truly cared about player safety, you would not be buying football merchandise. You'd not be watching the game, supporting the game in any way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
At the end of the day, you're going to get hurt in football. You're going to get hit in the head. You played football as a kid all the way to, like, what, high school? I played hockey all the way to high school. I had one concussion in hockey that I know of. And, like, they're just both violent sports. Like, pretty much every sport that's, like, in the North America is pretty much violent, except for basketball, pretty much, and even baseball. But then again, you get a 100-mile-an-hour fastball to the face, you got a concussion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, these two sports, like hockey and football, are pretty much, like, the most violent sports out there, except for literally fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, I can't get behind caring about a player's health and safety when they themselves don't care about themselves. You had JJ Watt bragging about his heart being stopped and basically like coming back and playing a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we're not.
You have guys literally on Twitter that are former NFL players saying, "Oh yeah, I lied about my concussion just to get back in the game." If you don't care about your own safety, your own health,
how do you expect?
Why should I care about it for you? You know what I mean?
Like, here's the thing in my outlook on this. Like, do I care about player safety? Do I want them to live a long life? Absolutely, because who doesn't want that for another human being, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want people just to be dying and stuff like.
And I don't want them to have to deal with CTE and that shit at the end. Like, that's a big deal. That's something that we don't even know enough about to begin with. But with that being said, when it comes to playing sports, and I have a lot of history playing sports. I played baseball. I played a little bit of basketball. I played football, like, all growing up. I played baseball for, 15 years. You know what I mean? Like, I had broke my wrist on a play in baseball playing first base. You know what I did? My dad came and looked at me. He goes, "Here's your other glove. Go play outfield." Broken wrist playing outfield. Couldn't even put my glove on. I'm still trying to play. As a sports player, it's just your mindset. It's not even necessarily like your mindset is to do anything you can do to play the game, because two reasons: you love the game, you make money playing the game, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, it all starts and stems from you love the game, right? So you're going to do anything you can do to get back on that field, that court, that rink, whatever you want to call it. Like, that is the goal. So how can you be mad that somebody is getting their heart shocked to play on a game Sunday? They're maybe lying, and I'm not saying Tua lied because I don't know exactly what happened. I don't think he did. I think it was a shit show, or not a shit show, but just a shit situation to begin with, right? Accident, whatever you want to call it, it happens. But the dude just wants to get out there and play. You know what I mean? That's all it is at the end of the day, and you can't hate on people for that. Like, I think the reason it's getting blown up so much is because there's more eyes on the Dolphins now than there's ever been because they're winning. They're 3-0, or they're 3-1 now, but they were 3-0. Like, and then just the way media coverage is nowadays and Twitter and everything, like, you know how it is. It's with anything in the world nowadays. Everything just gets blown out of proportion. So, like, I get why they're doing all this investigating on it, but at the end of the day, the dudes are just trying to play the game they love, like, however they can. So, I don't know if it's too much of a big deal to me.
I get it and all that. I'm just like, I'm not going to care about your health and safety if you don't even care about it yourself. 100%. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if players are actively telling, like, their trainers, their doctors, like, yeah, my head might be hurt. Like, they're not even telling the truth. Like, oh, it's my back. Like, my back hurts. And, like, they're asking, like, all these questions. They answer the questions. They get back through the protocol. They go back out there. Nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And how are you going to make this a big deal when you have a guy at the quarterback position in Justin Herbert that is playing through rib strains, and you're calling him such a tough guy, and he's so brave for doing this, and yada, yada, yada. But on the other end of the ball, like, I get it, it's a little different. It's a head injury. But you're not giving this guy any praise for playing through that? Like, it's got to go both ways. It's a two-way street at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, to play in the NFL, these guys aren't coming... Like, in hockey, you're 18 years old going to the NHL. In football, you're 22 plus, basically, going to the NFL.
Yeah.
These are grown-ass fucking adult men.
Yep.
If they know the health risk. When I played hockey, there was no discussion about concussions at all or anything like long-term related injuries. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Even you probably can relate to that.
Yeah.
When I got my concussion, the doctor literally told me, just
don't
sit out a week or two until you feel fine.
Yeah.
You didn't even tell me like a time frame or anything. Like, you just sit out or whatever. When I was growing up, there was no like debate about it. There was no topic. There was no CTE. That wasn't until like a couple of years ago, like probably like what 5 to like 8, maybe 10 years ago, that people started like saying like this is serious long-term health injuries. But guess what? There's still people lining up to play football. They're still getting millions of dollars to get paid to play this game. Like
that's
I'm not gonna feel bad for millionaires getting head injuries when they know the risk that they're taking. And they're actively putting themselves out there to go play again.
And not only that,
you know what I mean?
They're getting compensated for it. They make millions because of those reasons and the wear and tear it gives on their bodies. Like, it's the same thing that, like, and this might be a bad example, but it's the same reason why pilots, just the first thing that popped in my head, pilots make more than a lot of people because they're risking their lives every plane they get in. You know what I mean? You're flying above in the air. Like, anything could happen. You know what I mean? Those dudes make more money because of that. Like, they're getting compensated, and we're not saying that the head injury isn't a big deal and it shouldn't have been it should have been handled better. Yes, but like Nick's saying, it's hard for us to care about player safety when the players at the end of the day know the risks they're taking. They're doing anything they can to play with it. It's just hard to care when they themselves don't care.
Yeah, they will literally come back out there with a broken ankle, broken arm, and still want to play the game.
Yeah.
Why do you want me to stop that guy? Why should I care? He's consenting. He wants to play. Why? Just let him play then.
Like you said, they're grown adults at the end of the day.
Like, you can sit there and be a doctor and say, yeah, you shouldn't probably play with your leg being torn, but I can't physically stop you, so do whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go play then. Like,
and when it's not the NFL or college or whatever, that's what happens when you go and see a doctor when you get an injury in high school or middle school playing sports. He's like, well, I recommend you not to play for 4 to 6 weeks. But guess what? He says I recommend you because at the end of the day, you can do what you want. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same concept. Like, you can only guide somebody so much, but at the end of the day, it's their decision. Like, I know the NFL has things in place to where dudes can't play in certain ways or whatever, but at the end of the day, they can play whenever they want to play.
100%. I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to care about someone that doesn't care about themselves. Like, it's just, it makes no sense to me. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel that 100%. That's a good point.
Like, JJ Watt's bragging about his heart being, like, having a regular heartbeat and getting it fucking pumped back and then go playing. Like, okay, why should I care? Like, good for you, JJ. Like, cool. You know what I mean? Like, it just sounds so dumb to me.
I mean, me personally,
and then even, sorry, real quick, even in the Buccaneers game, because a lot of people were getting concussions, they're pulling them right out because of all this controversy. Like, but the Buccaneers game, that guy had a concussion, went back into the game. the fucking tight end Cameron Bray, and then they pulled him back.
And then they pulled him back
I think
out,
he pulled himself back out. They pulled him out after.
Yeah.
Like, and it just makes no sense to me. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on that. But I will say on the other end of it, like, I don't care what you do with your body at the end of the day, but I can respect the hell out of you for getting your fucking heart pumped and then coming back, or getting a concussion and then coming back. Like, to me, that just shows that you love the fucking game and you want to play it. Like, that's what I love about football. You know what I mean? Like, is it safe for them to play? Probably not, but guess what? Them dudes are putting it all out there on the field. Like, you got to commend Tua for it. You got to commend JJ for it. You got to commend all these players that are, at the end of the day, putting their body on the line and risking their health to play the fucking game they love. And it could just be to make millions, like, but I feel like a lot of them out there, like, they do it because they love the game at the end of the day.
Again, like, you're getting cheered on by fucking thousands of fans. You're making millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, you're basically seen as a hero on the field. You know what I mean?
100%.
I'm just tired of pretending that football is not a violent sport. Like, people are gonna get hurt eventually at some point. You're gonna get head injuries. Like, you just whatever you do, you'll never physically stop it unless you stop playing the sport.
100%. I think it's just the way
like,
the
if
world
you're
is
doctors
nowadays,
that care about
bro.
this game, like, you wouldn't watch it. You would just tell people not to play the game. Like,
100%.
that's literally the only way you're gonna stop these injuries.
Yeah, it's just the way of the world nowadays, bro. It just.
But guess what, Craig? Like, in old history, you used to go to the Roman Coliseum and watch people literally kill each other. You know what I mean?
Doctors were
like,
fucking,
that was violent. We loved it.
Yeah.
That's why people watch violent movies. Why people watch sports. It's violent.
That's why they watch UFC, MMA, all that shit. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, people love to watch violence. Like,
yeah, they love it.
Yeah, I'm ready to get into the recap here.
Real quick, one last piece of news that came out just now. Breaking news, dun, 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 you know what I mean? We'll get a little soundbite eventually, maybe. Commanders running back Brian Robinson has been medically cleared, and the team is activating him off the NFI list. They now have 21 days to put him on their active roster, which, I don't know if y'all remember, but Brian Robinson was getting a lot of hype before the season started, potentially talking about how he was going to take Antonio Gibson's role. And then he unfortunately got shot in a robbery, I believe it was.
I think it was a carjacking.
Yeah, something like that. So that's good for them. Fantasy owners of Antonio Gibson, I don't know if that's good for you. I don't know how it's going to work now. But at the beginning of the season, there was talk of him potentially taking the starting job. So just something to keep in mind. But big news for them as a NFL standpoint. They get another weapon on their offense, which Washington has a lot of weapons right now. But I guess we'll go ahead and break down.
Wait, one more.
Lay it on me.
This is not NFL, but this is definitely noteworthy because this is a potential first overall pick. On Saturday, Bryce Young went out with a shoulder injury for Alabama, the Alabama quarterback. I don't know. I think he's projected to be first overall, is he not?
That's what I've been hearing
there
so far, yeah.
But yeah, Saturday he went with a shoulder injury. Nick Saban says star quarterback shoulder sprain is not long-term type of injury. So
that's a good sign.
Here's hoping he'll probably be back.
Yeah.
To kind of, I guess, maintain his spot in the draft, but you just never know. Like, we were talking about it before the show started, like, quarterbacks always seem to jump up and down. Someone comes out of nowhere and takes the spot or whatever.
Yeah.
So. Hopefully it's not serious for him. He can continue to play.
I know we don't really talk about college football on here, but Nick, do you see Georgia almost lost to fucking Missouri on Saturday night?
Yeah, actually I saw that. I was ready to clown chase.
Yeah. Bro, if they lost, granted, I can't say much. Oklahoma lost to fucking Kansas State and then got smoked by TCU this week, so I can't say much about that because my team is shitting the bed, but we all expected that because Lincoln Riley left, Caleb Williams left, the whole team.
But then again, like, Georgia is the number one team.
Georgia is the number one. I don't think they are anymore. I think after that they might have got bumped down.
Week, but yeah, they were number one.
Yeah, they were number one and almost lost that game. Yeah,
almost lost it to the kicker.
To the kicker, yep. But that was crazy. Moving on to the Week 4 recap. Again, we're gonna throw in Week 3's Monday night game that we didn't get to talk about. Not going to talk about this one much because I'm not going to lie to y'all. Cowboys don't watch too much to begin with, but Cowboys and Giants I sure as hell ain't going to watch because those are two boring teams in my opinion. Sorry, Janine. I know you're going to hate me for that. It's not that the Giants are bad. It's just I feel like every time these two teams play, it's just a snooze fest, and that's pretty much what it was. So I really don't have much to say about this, but Cowboys took another dub on Monday night against them. Nick, did you watch this game at all?
Rush is 4-0.
After this week, yeah. After that, he was 3-0.
Well, at this point, he was 3-0,
Yeah.
but yeah. Just again, like you said, like just a boring game. Wasn't much to watch. Saquon Barkley, honestly, looks really good.
Looks really good.
Now that I'm looking at this game, there actually was an injury out of this game too. Was Sterling Shepard? I believe he is out for the year as well.
Yeah,
with a torn ACL.
Torn ACL, yep.
But yeah, I didn't really watch much of it. Just again, 2 division games, or it's a division game, 2 division opponents. It's just a boring game. Like,
it's just
really
always like
scoring.
a low scoring like defensive
It's like
affair
a chess
when
match.
these
Like,
when these
just
two
super
teams
slow.
play. Yeah.
But Saquon Barkley, honestly, is carrying the Giants. Also that.
Oh, absolutely. Which we'll break
He looks really
down
good.
more when we get into week 4 on their game.
Even Daniel Jones, honestly, even though he's not been playing great, but he looks like he's helping out a lot too.
That's another injury that we didn't get to. Daniel Jones, I think, injured his ankle, and I think last I heard he was day-to-day.
And Tyler's out with a concussion. It was bad.
Nice, yeah.
It was bad. Bad. We'll get into that on this game though.
Yeah.
For week 4, we'll talk about it more.
But week 4, we started it off with the Dolphins-Bengals game. Me personally, me and Nick had a little spat on Snapchat, messaging each other after this game. And I don't even know if you would call it a spat. It's just me and Nick debate every now and again, and we just go back and forth, and it's funny. But I personally, like I told Nick, I think this game ended once Tua left the game.
100%.
Which, I think most people can agree on that. Your team kind of feels defeated.
Once your starting quarterback goes down, it's just impossible to expect a dub.
Me personally, I think I said it on last week's episode. I wasn't going to get I still don't have a good judge of the Bengals, and I wasn't going to really know until this week's game against the Dolphins. I know they pulled out the dub. They had moments where they kind of looked like ass. The O-line looks like they're getting a little bit better at pass blocking, in my opinion. Running game's still non-existent. Defense,
I'll say the O-line can't even be judged this game because the Dolphins' pass rush is terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
the Dolphins literally can't get pressure unless they blitz.
Yeah, I guess what I'm
it's
getting...
It's the most annoying thing watching them.
Yeah, what I'm getting at this, my point is I still do not have a judge on if the Bengals are back, if the Bengals are the Bengals. I still don't know what to think about this team. I know we're 4 weeks in, and normally, like, teams kind of somewhat have an identity, and we know who they are. But you figure
they
the Bengals...
play the Ravens this week, so...
Yeah, so this will be a good test.
5.
Good test. Ravens, kind of hot, coming off a loss. Division matchup, so I'll probably be able to get a better judge of the Bengals. Right now, it looks like they're maybe a quarter of the way back, halfway back. I still think they might squeak out a playoff spot. Nick seems to think otherwise. We'll see what happens.
I think they could as well, but it's going to be a fight. Like,
no, yeah, absolutely. I just don't think they're a bad team.
I don't see them winning their division.
I don't think so either.
I don't see them easily winning a wild card spot.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a fight. They've started off slow, but I think they'll figure it out eventually. Sucks for the Dolphins. Terrible injury out of Tua. We all saw it. He's out this week already. Yeah,
he's already out.
He's already out this week, so Teddy B is going to be the starter week 5, and they play the Jets. So we don't know when Tua is going to be back. Hopefully he's back the week after that, and he's healthy, and everything's fine, and the Dolphins can get back to the way they were going. But I will say, with that being said, me personally, I didn't think they looked half bad with Teddy B out there. Like, I think with some practice and with the first string and him getting in the rhythm of being a starter for this week at least, I still feel that they're going to be somewhat competitive. Like, they still got the weapons, you know what I mean?
Sorry, I was taking a drink.
No, I hear it. You're good.
I've been coughing. Yeah, so, apologies. I think that they paid all this money to Teddy for a reason. Like,
yeah.
My dad was kind of getting upset watching that game, like, oh, Teddy's kind of ass. I'm like, he's missing some throws, but at the same time, you gotta remember, it's probably been since, like, July, August, where he's actually been training, like, practicing. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine how much he actually goes out there and, like, is actively, like, throwing the ball to Tyreek Hill, Jen Waddle, all these guys. Like,
yeah. You gotta get the timings down. You gotta get the rhythms down. Like, it's to be expected with a backup coming in the game.
But with that said, playing the Jets this week, it's going to be an eye-opening test because he should easily be able to go out there and just maintain his offense. I don't expect us to drop fucking 40 points a game, 30 points. You know what I mean? But he can easily go out there and just manage the game.
Yeah.
Just be Teddy Bridgewater. You've been a Pro Bowl quarterback before. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just go out there and just win the game. Like,
and I think
you don't need to be amazing or anything. It's like you got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, Cedric Wilson. Like
2 stud running backs.
You literally just need to be a game manager. Just go out there, get the ball in these guys' hands, and do nothing crazy. Like, there's no stupid turnovers. Like, oh man, I hate when they do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think what's helping y'all in this aspect with Teddy being under center right now is y'all's defense keeps y'all in games for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know the numbers for sure, but like y'all only gave up, what was it, 17 to the Bills on defense.
I think we're like 13th in points per
game.
We're like last in yards per game, but we just don't give up points.
Yeah, so y'all aren't giving up points on defense, which is really good when you have a game manager type quarterback in there, which is what Teddy B is nowadays as a backup. So I think y'all are in a good position with Teddy B as a backup. I think y'all will be fine. Like you said, if he comes out and beats the Jets with ease, then y'all are still good with Teddy B at the moment. Still sucks to see Tua out. We want to see Tua in because we want to see what he can do at the NFL level, and he was really showing some promise. So that's
the thing too. Like, he looked so good coming into like this season. Like, he looked really good so far. Excuse me. And even coming to this game, like, he honestly didn't look bad either. Like, he had a drop touchdown by Chase Edmonds, right?
Yeah.
That was literally right there, walking a touchdown.
100%.
He missed it. He had that bad pick, but it's like it happens. Like, you try and go deep to Tyreek Hill,
that's gonna happen.
It happens. Like,
you live by the sword, die by the sword. You know what I mean? You want all those.
Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But again, like, he didn't look bad. Like, he was going like literally carving up the fucking Bengals defense.
Yeah, and the Bengals defense is a pretty solid defense. Like, they're not the best in the league. They're not the worst in the league. Like, they have a pretty solid defense as well. So, like you said,
defense last year was really good, too.
Yeah, he was doing good against them. So, I think, like I said,
it's just they were.
I think they were going to win that game.
I think they probably would have won this game.
I think so, too.
If Tua played.
Yeah.
Because they looked really good. It's just they had those miscues, and then he got injured. And on top of that, too, Jason Sanders missed a field goal and missed an extra point. So, it's like... It just sucks to see that it's like we had such a good opportunity to win this game still, and then even Teddy had a chance to win it, but then he threw that pick coming on the last drive there.
Yeah, and it kind of hurt him.
And then he ended up getting that big touchdown at the end there.
Yeah. But it sucks to see. I'll see about the Bengals. I still don't know what to think about them. Dolphins, I think, will be fine with Teddy B under center.
I mean, they'll be fine anyway because it's like as long as if Tua's out for like the next 3 weeks, like I think we play the Jets, the Vikings.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. They have a somewhat easy schedule coming up. So, easy. Yeah. I know it's the NFL, but
it's
still.
Not. Yeah, it's easier, but it's not. Yeah. Again, you can't say any opponent.
No, you can't write anybody off.
I definitely think they'll be all right though.
Moving on to the London game, I actually woke up early as fuck to watch this game. That never happens, right? Most of the time these London games come on, I'll maybe catch the last quarter, if that. But I actually...
Was it on at 9?
For me, it was 8:30, so you 9:30, yeah. I woke up at 8:30 to watch this fucking game, and I actually watched the whole thing. Like, I caught the whole game. I was surprised to myself. For those of y'all that don't know, I'm not a morning person at all. I wake up...
Yeah, see, I was up at 8.
Yeah, I wake up past noon 90% of the time.
Formula 1.
But with that being said, this was a pretty good game overall, in my opinion. Andy
Dalton going against Jameis Winston.
You mean Kirk Cousins?
Not bad. Or Kirk Cousins. Yeah. Sorry.
Andy Dalton didn't look half bad. The Saints were missing.
The Saints defense honestly is nasty.
Yeah, it's so nasty.
They were just blowing by the fucking Vikings O-line.
Yeah, they were missing Michael Thomas. Jarvis Landry was dealing with an injury, but he ended up playing. No Jameis Winston.
Kamara.
No Alvin Kamara, an hour before the game, which fucked a lot of fantasy people, being it was an early game, and Alvin Kamara got ruled out at the last minute.
That made a lot of people mad.
One of my fantasy leagues in a group chat, the dude was like, I got screwed by Kamara, and I wanted to message back and be like, well, you're not dedicated enough. Wake up early enough. You know what I mean? Like, I was up at 8 o'clock checking my lineup. But I'm just a nerd when it comes to fantasy. But with that being said, Andy Dalton looked pretty good.
It honestly don't look bad.
Yeah, the Vikings squeaked this out. They went to 3-1. There something
Justin Jefferson had himself a game.
Justin Jefferson had a fucking massive game, which I love. That's our guy. Y'all know how we speak about the Vikings, but I will say there's something about this team. I guess it's maybe their defense is just not there all the way. I expected their defense to be a little bit better this year, but I know we predicted them to be really good this year, and I think they are. I think they had that bad loss against the Eagles. They struggled. They've looked pretty well. They won last week in the final minute against Detroit. They're squeaking out wins, which is what we talked about before. Or me, I said that last year the Vikings had a lot of close games, and they couldn't figure out how to win them. But this year it looks like they're figuring out how to win them, so that's a good sign. Excuse me. So with that being said, I'd like to see the Vikings play a little bit better.
I think it just comes down to Kirk Cousins a little bit. I think he could be a little bit better.
Yeah,
like sometimes his like decision making or like his accuracy just isn't there. Sometimes.
Yeah, and he hasn't been there. Like you see that one touchdown Jefferson had, but the ball was literally like behind him. If that ball's in front of him, like granted, Jefferson should have caught that ball regardless. In my opinion, I know it's a tough catch, but he still should have caught
100%.
it. But if that ball's out in front, that's a free touchdown. You know what I mean? This game's not even close.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's just been a little bit off. It seems like.
Yeah,
So you just like you hope that Kirk Cousins can get it going. Excuse me, because he just hasn't been like as consistent as I've seen him be. At least not to start the season.
Yeah, and we've talked about him not being the best, but he is consistent and gets the job done. But yeah, like you said,
like a slow start so far.
Yeah, it's definitely a slow start, which is showing. But again, they're squeaking out the wins. They're still 3-1. They're sitting in a good spot, so that's a good sign. I think Justin Jefferson had 2 bad weeks. He was back this week.
Up with a big game
against, like you said, a good defense. The pass rush was there all day. Like Kirk Cousins barely had enough time. Marshawn Lattimore was on him. Like they played well. The defense did on the Saints. Chris Olave. I tell you what, the rookie wide receivers this year are showing out. Between Garrett Wilson, Drake London, like I think Drake London had a bad week, but like all of them have had their moments that they look really good. Like this could be potentially one of the really good wide receiver classes for the next upcoming years. Like once they start to develop into actual like, you know what I mean, star-studded pros. Yeah, I'm excited for this rookie wide receiver class. I think it's going to be
not sure if there's any like out of the gate superstars or anything like that. I haven't seen like a Justin Jefferson type player or Jamar Chase, but.
They all look like
they
stars.
Could definitely be like consistent.
Yeah, they all look like stars so far. Plus, let's not forget we still are missing Jameson Williams, who hasn't played yet. John Mechie from the Texans, who hasn't played yet. So those are 2 potentially stars again that are rookie wide receivers that could add to this draft class for wide receivers. So we said that before. This was going to be a good wide receiver draft class, but I'm excited to see the rest of those wide receivers play. Saints look how we kind of expected the Saints to look this year, though. Kind of somewhat competitive, but can't quite close out the game. Next, we got the Browns and the Falcons. Did you watch this game at all, Nick?
A little bit. I've seen some of the highlights.
What'd you think?
It was a rough game for Marcus Mariota.
He's
He's
there at moments. Yeah,
like hit and miss. Like
hit and miss, 100%. That's probably the best way to put it.
Harold Patterson looked alright until he got injured.
Who did we pick? Oh, we both picked the Browns. That's right.
Both picked the Browns.
Yeah, we both picked the Browns. I thought the Browns are going to win this. They've been, I mean, like we said, they should have been 3-0 at the start of this game. They barely lost to the Jets, and then now they barely lose to the Falcons. Me personally, I think Jacoby Brissett's not doing a bad job. But in these close games, I feel like what helps at the end of the day is having a better quarterback, right? In my opinion. I think that's what puts you over the top. I feel like if they have a little bit upgrade at the quarterback position, which they do, suspended, whatever, I feel like, again, biased a little bit, I feel like if they had Watson, they squeak these 2 games that they've lost out, and it turns into a dub, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought the Browns, honestly, were just going to get this dub easy. Like, I thought Nick Chubb was going to light it up, get touchdowns.
He had a good game. He had like 130 yards.
And then their defense was going to be like shutting them down, but
Yeah, they're
Falcons, I don't know. Falcons, honestly, they've been kind of handing in games somehow.
I mean, they're 2-2.
That's
They're
what I'm saying. Like, you're handing in the games. Like,
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, bro, if the Falcons have a low key chance at this division, right? Because if you think about it, you got the Panthers, the Saints, the Bucks. Saints are 1-3. The Panthers are 1-3. The Saints are 2-2, and the Bucks are 2-2. Like, they're technically tied for first place. Might already be in first place. I don't know for sure. But if they keep going to where they're kind of hanging in these games, making it close, winning a few here and there, like, I feel like they can maybe make a push to win the division, which is crazy. And I know it's still early, but I almost wouldn't be surprised at this point because, like you said, they're hanging in games, they're keeping in it. Their offense is putting up points, they're scoring, which is surprising.
yeah. I don't. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens though with Cordell Patterson being out for them.
Well, they have
'Cause I
that
feel
rookie Tyler Algier that's actually been doing pretty
Yeah,
good.
like,
Like he had
they
like
got
84
decent
yards.
backups, but I don't know. It's just like it feels like he's like always kind
A
of
game
like doing
changer?
it all. Like,
Yeah,
he's like a wide receiver out of the backfield, basically.
nah, I feel that. Kind of like a Debo Samuel type deal.
Yeah, like the knockoff version. But
Yeah. But I mean, that game was a tough one. It was pretty good to watch. I was watching it on Red Zone, catching it here and there. But like we said, we thought the Browns were going to pull this one off.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be an easier win, but I'm shocked.
Yeah. Next, we got the Bills, the Ravens, and
This was the game I was watching.
I was excited for this game. I thought this was for some
A little
reason
bit of a letdown.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be like 40-40 or 38. You know what I mean? Like I thought that's what this game was going to turn out to. The way Lamar's been playing, but the Ravens put up 20 points in like the first quarter, right? And then didn't score again till the end, or didn't score again at all. Like they struggled in the second half. It turned into like a defensive game essentially, but the Bills ended up coming out squeaking it out. And I think me and Nick talked about this, and Nick was saying that what was it? You think that
I
them
think they're
being
too aggressive for their own good.
That's what you said. Yeah.
There's like, if I watched, obviously as a Dolphins, and I watched them play the Ravens, and there was a lot of times like they were going for on fourth down, like even at like midfield, like basically getting them like good field position. That was also during the comeback too. I remember they went for it on fourth down, turned over on downs, boom, the Dolphins get the ball back already at midfield. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are huge game-changing plays. And I remember too, they even went for it a couple times on I think they went for it a fourth down in the red zone, right on the, or in the goal line, actually, I should say, and he fumbled it. Lamar fumbled it, and then that was turnover on down. So it's like, you guys are honestly at this point leaving points up on the board with your pretty much the best kicker in the league, Justin Tucker.
100%.
You're not even using them. It's like, just use your kicker and get points. Like, I feel like they're kind of, like, I feel like, honestly, like, I'm not sure about what John Harbaugh's thinking, but maybe he's a little bit underestimating these opponents. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
I feel
it's
like you
more
gotta
so
take your points when you got points against good teams.
No, 100%.
I'm okay if you go for fourth downs when you're confident in your team. Like, I like it, but you gotta pick and choose. We're gonna be aggressive. Like, you can be more aggressive against a team like the Broncos or like the Cowboys per se, or something like the Bears. You know what I mean? Like, those are weaker teams. You should be aggressive against them.
I
A
think
team
it's
like
not
the
so
Bills and the
much-
Dolphins is like, you gotta just take the points when you got them. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it's not so much that he underestimates the opponents. I think he's just overconfident in his team. You know what I mean? Like
either that too, but it's like, you gotta just take points.
No,
like,
you absolutely, like you said, against good teams, against the Bills, Chiefs, like you got to take the points. Like that's why you're sitting at 2-2 at the moment, because if you kick that field goal, like you said before the show, it forces them to get a touchdown to win the game, if not just a field goal to tie it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and you're going to overtime. You never know if you win or not.
It definitely hurt them, and I think too, like, again, me and Nick were talking about this game before the show. In my opinion, I think what's also hurting them, it's not so much that they're going for it so much on fourth downs. It's more so that they're becoming so predictable on the plays they're calling on those fourth downs. Like, in my opinion, if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, it's 4th and 1, 4th and goal, and you're going for it. In my mind, I'm sitting there thinking as a linebacker, a lineman, whatever, Lamar Jackson's running this ball. That's what he's been doing lately on fourth downs. Like, every time I've seen them go for it on a fourth down, 90% of the time, Lamar Jackson's trying to run the ball for the first down, which I get it. The dude's a beast. 50% of the time he does it. You know what I mean? But, like, I feel like Nick made a good point. If they just roll out, give Lamar the chance to run the ball or pass it if he needs to, it's a win-win situation. Because then they have to respect the pass, they have to respect the run. You know what I mean? So that's when you start getting your openings, because people will kind of lean towards one thing, whether it's the pass, they're going to lean towards coverage, they're going to back up a little bit and it's going to open up the lane to run, or they're going to rush him because they're thinking he's going to run because he's been running constantly and he just floats it over their head for the first down. Like, I think they've just became too predictable when it comes to going for it on fourth downs, and I feel like if they switch that play calling up a little bit, they might have a better chance, and then you can get away with being as aggressive as they've been. But I still, at the end of the day, like Nick said, against these good playoff teams, you have to take the points when they're there. Like, I know there's a time and place for everything, but in that situation, you take the 3 points to go up and take the lead, without a doubt.
100% agree.
Moving on to the Cowboys and the Commanders. First off, those Commanders uniforms, in my opinion, were sick as fuck. I know they're probably hated on by a lot of people. I was watching the game at my buddy's house, and he was like, those those uniforms are ugly. And he was like, not only is the uniforms ugly, but the logo's ugly, because he didn't realize that the Redskins changed their name to the Commanders, because he doesn't really pay attention to football too much. But he's like, what? That's stupid. He's like, but that logo is ugly as hell. I was like, yeah, it's not the greatest, but
I think the whole team is an L, honestly.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I think the logo, the team name, like I already said, like it should have been something else. Like, you have a W as a logo, like just the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, it's about as bad as the Browns helmet. But
yeah, I think it's a complete letdown from the beginning. But their team, honestly, on paper, doesn't look bad.
I mean, we talked about it earlier. They got stars. Curtis Samuel's balling out. They got Terry McLaurin. They got Jahan Dotson that's going crazy. Another rookie wide receiver.
First round pick.
He's doing good. They got Antonio Gibson. Wentz is playing about Wentz-like. You know, has his moments, does good, then he does bad. Does good, then he does bad. But I think personally that I don't think necessarily the offense lost them this game. I think the Cowboys defense won them this game. Like, the Cowboys defense, their pass rush specifically in my opinion, is going crazy. Like, I know they went against the Bengals and they got a lot of sacks against the Bengals, and that's kind of why their numbers are so high. But the parts I saw of this game, like, it seemed like every time Wentz dropped back to throw the ball, the pass rush is in his face and he just had no time at all.
I just pulled up the stats here. Wentz threw the ball 42 times.
There we go again.
But he only got 170 yards.
Start fucking throwing the ball a lot. That's when you start to fucking lose.
But yeah, I didn't watch a lot of this game, but I don't know. Cooper Rush 4-0. Like, I guess the Cowboys are just unbeatable even with a backup quarterback.
I tell you what.
I did see one where Wentz threw the ball and basically what's his name? Trayvon Diggs, like, basically played wide receiver and caught it.
Yeah, I did see that one. You remember how we talked about, like, when Watson comes back and if the Browns are doing hot, they're going to have to make that decision about quarterback, right?
Yep.
Can we have that same conversation with Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott? Is Cooper Rush that guy, or is he just a product of his environment, the defense carrying him, they're doing good, he's managing, doing what he needs to be done? Or do we think he's better than Dak Prescott?
No, I don't think he's better than Dak Prescott.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Dak, regardless. I think he kind of...
I think Dak, at the end of the day, is like a top 15, somewhere in there, quarterback. Like,
yeah.
Him a 13 to, like, 15.
But 4-0 in the NFL, first 4 games?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely impressive. He might get a shot somewhere else or something, maybe, but...
Yeah, true.
The fact that, like, Jerry Jones has, like, paid all this money on this team, like...
I just had to ask a question, because I know there's people out there that are going to mention it and talk about it, so...
Oh, I already know about it, but...
Yeah.
Like I said, like, Jerry Jones literally fucking paid Dak Prescott all this money. He's paid all this money to Ezekiel Elliott, like... At
I
the end of the day,
saw
it's gonna be Dak Prescott's team.
I saw this video and somebody was like, Dak Prescott's really not even that good of a quarterback. He just stepped into the right situation when he was a rookie. He had a good O-line, a good defense, a good run game, and then that's why he did what he did.
That's
like,
literally every quarterback.
It really is. Every quarterback that succeeds when they're young steps into a good environment. Like, that's all it is, man.
It's the same thing when they were talking about how good Justin Herbert was compared to Tua and compared to Joe Burrow, and it's like, well, yeah, he had the best system pretty much.
Yeah,
like he
100%.
came in with a fit. Like what is he? Mike Williams is like a 5th overall pick, I think.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen's been an underrated wide receiver his whole career. They had Austin Eckler. Granted, their O-line wasn't great. Year 1, sure, you can say that, but it's like, at the end of the day, he has like top weapons to throw to and to run the ball with. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Whereas Tua is literally the most pressured quarterback in his rookie year. Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
look at Tom Brady with the Bucks. Like, went to the Bucks. They had like the best O-line, the best defense. They won a fucking Super Bowl. Like, and he put up like MVP numbers. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Like, his O-line's always pretty good.
All of them have stepped into a good situation. But I mean, Cowboys 3-1. I expected them to be somewhat decent as they always are.
I didn't expect them to be winning games without Dak Prescott, honestly.
No, once Dak Prescott went out, I thought they were going to just start losing games.
But their defense, honestly, has been playing pretty good.
Yeah, they've been keeping them in it. I mean, hell, the defense gives up only 10 points. You can't be mad at it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, their defense is playing really well, and then, like I said, no hate to Cooper Rush or anything, but it's like he's been, as a backup, like, he's been coming in and playing really good, too. Like,
yeah,
you got to give him his respect.
100%. Next, we have the Seahawks at the Lions, which we both picked the Lions.
I can't believe I saw a stat. The Lions are first in points per game, but they're first in points given up per game.
They
so
they have 30
a lot, but they're giving up a lot of points.
They have 35 points per game is their average. Their average given up points per game 35.3, and that's first for both, like you said. Yeah, no, they're
literally just scoring, but they're giving up a fuck ton of scores.
Yeah,
it's insane. TJ Hawkinson. I was watching Red Zone for the first time ever, and TJ Hawkinson was on there like every 5 minutes.
Dude, that guy was balling.
Holy crap. Like, the guy was catching touchdowns, fucking running with a big-ass gain.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is... Like, I know he was decent last year here and there before he got hurt, but I'm like, man, this guy's just balling today. Like...
Well, they had to do something because Amon-Ra St. Brown was out for the game. DeAndre Swift was out, so they had to feed the man. But I will say, for any of you betting people out there, if you're going to bet on a Lions game, please take the over. Because right now, it seems like every game they're getting into is a shootout. And especially if they're averaging 35 points a game.
And their defense is Swiss cheese.
Yeah, and their defense... I don't even know if it's Swiss cheese. I think their defense is just a black hole at this point because they're giving up points after points. My God, the Seahawks put up some
honestly was watching this game after the... I think the Bills one ended, and I was like, come on, Lions. Like, you guys... Like, either... They're literally scoring, getting back into this game, and then the defense could not stop them.
Bro.
And their offense go back out, score again.
Yes.
Defense could not stop them. Like, man, like, you guys are right there, but it's just like you need that stop to come right back into the game fully, and it's like you just can't get it. It's like, oh my God.
It's funny because I remember watching Hard Knocks, and I think Dan Campbell was talking about how it was either Dan Campbell or the quarterback's coach was talking about how like Jared Goff is playing out of his mind right now, and it's definitely showing. But I do feel bad for Dan Campbell because I was watching this game, and at the end they like showed like the camera like pointed at him, and he just looks so defeated. And I just feel bad for the guy because it's like, how can you be mad at your team for scoring 45 points, like, and you still lose? Like, that is just so upsetting. Like, I would just hate to be the coach because they're doing everything right on offense at the moment. Granted, I don't know if it's just because their defense is scoring a lot, so their defense is giving up a lot, so teams are being lackadaisical when they're on defense, so it's causing the Lions to score more. I don't know. Or I don't know if the Lions are just dotting kids up and smoking them. You know what I mean? Like, but averaging 35 points a game is definitely nuts to be 1-3. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But when you flip the script and their defense is also first in points given up per game, it makes sense.
You understand.
Like,
yeah, 100%.
Like, if they could somehow lower that to like 15, The Lions honestly might even win a
Fuck,
Super
if they
Bowl,
could lower that to 30, they might start winning games, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, if their offense can keep putting up points like that, like, they could be a really good team, but their defense has just got to do something on the back end. Like,
I think they just need some more pieces on the defense still. I think if they get a couple more pieces and...
At the end of the day, we didn't expect them to do anything really to begin with, but it's exciting to see that they're able to put up points like that. Like,
yeah.
I honestly did not expect anything out of the Lions this season. Like, I thought there was going to be a dead-in-the-water type team, but they're keeping games, like, alive in games somehow, even though their defense, again, is, like, hanging them out to dry, but at least they're putting up points. Like, I really just thought they would just lay down and every game was just a blowout type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. With that being said, if you have any Lions player in fantasy, I recommend probably starting them because it seems like everyone's just putting up video game numbers at this point. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, they were out DeAndre Swift. They had no Amon-Ra St. Brown. Josh Reynolds stepped in and went dummy. TJ Hawkinson went crazy. Jamal Williams had 2 or 3 touchdowns, which is crazy. Like, they went crazy.
It was a nutty ass game.
Seahawks popped off too, so maybe that's another thing. If you have a
Geno
team
Smith looked good that game.
I saw a stat. Geno Smith. Oh, I wish I could find it. He's
Guys, remember last week we were talking about him maybe being a little bit better, more consistent. This week he looked really good this week.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find this tweet real quick.
He had 2 touchdowns, 320 yards, and was 23 of 30. Like, Rashad Penny was literally running all over the fucking Lions. He had 151 yards, averaged almost 9 yards a carry. Craig, he was averaging almost a first down.
That's nuts. I can't wait to hear Nathan. Nathan's going to come out the woodworks. I told you Rashad Penny was the guy.
Almost a first down a carry. That is insane.
Oh,
And then you go to the other side of the field. Jared Goff was 378 yards, 4 touchdowns, 26 of 39.
Here's the stat I found. Quarterback Geno Smith has 77.3 completion percentage. He's 1 of 2 of 32 through his first 4 games this season. The highest completion percentage by a quarterback in his first 4 games of season in NFL history. So, Geno's cooking. They lost Russ, but Geno's cooking. And at this point, Geno's playing better than Russell Wilson was, or is right now. You know what I mean? That's crazy. 1 of 2 of 32. Yeah, right? 1 of 2 of 32. So he's only had 30 incompletions this year. Carson Wentz probably had 30 incompletions this week. Like, that's crazy. Good sign for them, I guess, maybe. I still don't know what to expect from this team. I think they're a lesser team to begin with. I think Geno Smith's playing great, but I don't see them winning a whole lot of games, in my opinion. But I could be wrong.
It just depends. Like, are they going to be consistent? Like, if Geno can consistently keep playing the way he's been playing, and keep playing like he did in this game, then yeah, maybe they could do something, because they do have weapons. Like,
100%.
I don't know about that defense, though.
Yeah. Moving on, we got the Chargers at the Texans. Texans 0-3-1, definitely looking for the first round draft pick. But at one point, the Texans were like 3 points away from taking the lead. So I was watching it, and I saw it on Red Zone. I saw it on Red Zone, and I was like, okay, Texans might come back and win this. But then Austin Eckler scored like 2 more touchdowns, and I was like, yeah, that's over with. Damian Pierce had himself a day.
Really going off.
Yeah, Eckler had what, 3 total touchdowns. Damian Pierce had a touchdown and like 150 yards or something crazy like that. Like, I will say that was another thing I wanted to get into at one point, and I'll just touch on it real quick. In fantasy, like fantasy-wise, I know we're not a big fantasy show, but fantasy-wise, running backs all together have been dog shit this year, right? The top 10, 15 running backs have been pretty mediocre. This week, it almost seemed like all the running backs came back because there was a lot of running backs this week that had 2, 3 touchdowns. Like, they just went crazy. But with that being said, that boy Jonathan Taylor is struggling again. But this game, I mean, we all kind of expected the Chargers to fucking beat the Texans. I think, again, we've said this whole time, the Texans have kept things a little competitive, surprisingly. I still think that they're trash, and they're going to be trash, and I'll be surprised if they win 3 games this year. But you never know. Chargers got a dub. Still not a believer. We're out on the Chargers still.
I'm just like, it's like I'm like numb to it. I'm like, yeah, you won, cool, but you got to go beat something. It's like the Bengals. Like, you got to just go out there and prove against someone that's actually good before I start believing in you.
Yeah, I feel you. And the thing with the Chargers for me, like, there's been, and it's just over the years of Chargers, it's this year's Chargers, like last year's, like, it just seems like they'll do something great one week, and then the next week they'll play at the caliber of the Texans, and it's like, what is that? Yeah, they're just an inconsistent team. If they could ever get on a roll,
they put up,
they're
what,
chilling.
10 points against the Jaguars this week? They put up 34. Like,
yeah.
Where's the consistency? Like, you got Justin fucking Herbert. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that this should be a team that puts up at least 20 fucking 5 points a week. Like,
granted, I think they're still missing Keenan Allen, so that hurts a bit. But even then, they still got fucking hella weapons on the offense.
Yeah, like, you got Austin Eckler again. Like, he hasn't been doing anything until this game. You still got Mike Williams. What's their Jared Everett, their tight end?
Jared Everett, he's been popping off.
Just like, I want to see more.
Yeah, no, I agree. Next, we had an AFC South matchup. Titans at the Colts.
Watching it.
Who did we pick?
I picked Titans, you picked Colts.
I picked the Colts? God damn, yes. I'm a hater. Why would I pick the Colts? Oh, I said they beat the Chiefs. Oh, because the Colts do what the Colts do. They beat a good team, and then they fucking lose. Like, yeah, no. I'm, again, out on this whole AFC South division. Jags are going to win it.
Honestly, you might not be wrong.
I might not be wrong, but the Titans, the Colts look like ass. 24-17, Titans win this. This is typically how every AFC South matchup goes. I've seen a lot of them. 24-17, I think the Titans were in command of this game for the most part. I think they scored like 14-0 off rip, and the Colts were just trying to come back from the get-go. Derrick Henry had himself a day again.
Yeah, I was going to say, Derrick Henry was just running all over the Colts.
Dude, what I'm very surprised on, and I'm loving it as a first-time Derrick Henry owner in one of my leagues.
Oh, yeah, Leonard. I forget what he changed his name to, but he's out with a concussion in this game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did hear about that.
I think he's also out. They play on Thursday, so he's also out too.
And then, what's his name dealing with the ankle injury? Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, he's questionable.
But as a first-time Derrick Henry owner, I love the fact that Derrick Henry is getting involved in the passing game. I know you didn't watch this game, but last week the dude had 6 targets in the passing game, and I think this week I saw him run out of screen for a pretty good distance. Like, I want to say he had... I'm pulling it up right now. He had another 5 targets this week, so he's actually getting receiving work, and I think it's working out for them because they're kind of lacking in the receiving department a little bit right now. They got Robert Woods, Traylon Burks, but they just really both haven't shown much. So I think for the Titans, they realized they need to get Derrick Henry involved in the passing game, and so far it's worked out. I mean,
I don't see why you wouldn't. The guy's like 260.
Yeah.
Like,
you gotta get the
open
dude.
Space and let him just fucking
exactly. And I've never understood why. Like, I think they don't get him involved because they give him the ball 30 times a game on the ground. So they're like, we're not going to add an extra 5 in the passing game. You know what I mean? But I think you got to give this guy the ball as much as you can because he's Derrick Henry. But I just want to say real
100%.
quick to all the Derrick Henry haters out there, he's back. Shut your mouth. He was never gone. You should have drafted him 2nd overall. Should have drafted him 1st overall because he's probably playing better than McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor and Kamara and Dalvin Cook and Eckler and all these guys. So
Jesus,
y'all are stupid. Shout out Derrick Henry.
All right, moving on.
This one's all you.
Giants. I did not watch it at all, honestly. I watched a little bit of it.
No, it was a defensive game. I mean, but, bro, Barkley at one point, I don't know if you saw the highlight.
Barkley was going off. At one point, like I said, Daniel Jones went off an ankle injury. They then put in Tyler Taylor. I believe he ran the ball, took a hit to the head, ended up getting concussed. They pulled him out. They ended up going to the Wildcat. For whatever reason, they put Daniel Jones back in the game, but they were putting him at wide receiver. So basically, they were just running the Wildcat.
You know, I did see that with
Saquon
Barkley, and I was like, what?
Was the quarterback, essentially, but really he was just a running back running the ball. They're basically just playing the Wildcat. I don't know why they put Daniel Jones back in if he wasn't even like gonna play quarterback, but I think he ended up playing quarterback again after, like near the, because it kind of happened. I think it was in the third quarter, I believe.
Right.
So they ended up putting him back in. I didn't watch it, so I don't know if he was either throwing the ball at all or if he just started like just running the ball. I'm assuming, looking at the stats, that he didn't throw the ball after he got hurt because he had 13 attempts.
Yeah, probably not.
So I'm just assuming they just ended up running the ball because Saquon Barkley has 31 attempts.
Yeah, they ran the fuck out of the ball then. There was one play where Saquon Barkley had, it was a screen pass, I think. He caught the screen
and he
pass.
ran like backwards. And
Yeah,
took
he
it
caught
all the
the
way
screen
down.
pass 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, was about to lose 10 yards, and did the whole loop-de-loop, wrapped around to the other side and gained like 30 yards, dude. Like, just
I just want to say
absolutely
Daniel
nuts.
Jones sealed the block on the edge for him.
He did. I did see that. That's probably where he hurt his ankle. Dude's doing too much. Yeah, I didn't watch much of this
he also
game.
had 2 rushing touchdowns as well, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones did? Okay. Love that.
Justin Fields, again, only had 22 attempt passing. Like, this guy either fucking sucks ass in camp and they just don't believe in him and let him throw it, or they just don't believe in him at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they just want to run the ball, bro. Like,
there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
There is something wrong here when your quarterback is only attempting 22 passes and he goes 11 for 22 and then 74 yards.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like, grant you, he did get sacked 6 times. Like, the Bears just look lost as a complete whole, but like, you're just like ruining this man that you drafted in the first round. Like, what are you gonna do with this guy? Like, do you believe in him or do you not believe in him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. They need to help the guy out. I mean, we've said it before. They don't really have a whole lot of weapons, so I don't. He's almost doomed for failure.
He had one absolute deep bomb to Darnell Mooney that Bear fans can absolutely go bananas in their room at nighttime on. But other than that, like, he has been a joke of a quarterback.
Tough time to be a Bears fan right now. I will say, we talked about it earlier, or I did, the NFC East. I just realized the NFC East, we've always thought about it, like, in recent years, in my opinion, like, you would have one team that ends up like 8-9, and then the rest are just dog shit, right?
Yeah, the Cowboys 8-8.
The Cowboys at 8-8, they'd win the division.
Even last year when they made the playoffs, the Eagles were 9-8.
Yeah. This year it looks like we might have a different tune because the Eagles are 4-0, the Cowboys and the Giants are both 3-1. Granted, the Commanders are 1-3, but they've had moments where they look decent. You know what I mean?
One team's gonna be losing, so you can't have all 4 teams with winning records. Like, that's just unheard of.
The NFC East might be exciting this year. When it comes down to it, like when the playoff run comes and you got teams playing each other and it all decides to that. You know what I mean? So that's something to look forward to.
I will say, I'm not an Eagles hater or anything, but I would like to see them play like a Chiefs team or something. Like, I want to see them play something, like someone that's really competitive. Because, like, they played the Eagles, they played the Jaguars, they played the Vikings, and then who was the other one they played?
They played the Lions, the Vikings, the Jaguars, and then who'd they play last week?
The Commanders, wasn't it? I think they played the Commanders.
Oh, it was the Commanders, I think. Yeah, the Commanders. They beat them 24-8.
Yeah, like, I just want to see them play someone, like, better before I can, like, really kind of gauge where they're at. You know what I mean?
I will say, I do agree with you on that. I would like to see them play like a Ravens or a Bills or somebody like that, and you can gauge what they're at.
Like, you're 4-0. You're 4-0.
100%. I think the only argument I'll have for that is it's... I can see that if these games were like 28-25 when they play these teams. You know what I mean? Like, they're still winning easily over these teams that are bad, which I feel like is a good sign for a team that's good. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I do agree. I definitely want to see
Like I
them
said, I just
play
want to
like
see
a
them play
Ravens or
someone
somebody
like
that.
that's better off, so that way I can see, okay, like this team is for real.
Is a
for real,
contender.
like,
Yeah, 100%.
not like like they are who we thought we are, type of
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean?
That's definitely a challenge for them going forward. I don't
But I will
exactly know
say,
their schedule.
I thought they were gonna lose their first game. The
They
Jaguars
started
came out
off
hot.
14-0. I mean,
The Jaguars came out hot.
yeah,
It was like fourth down, I believe it was, and then Jalen Hurts ran it,
yep.
and then he ended up getting like I thought he was gonna get honestly smoked because he kind of looked like he got hit in the head.
The
but
touchdown.
yeah,
Yeah,
it did
he
not
fucking
look,
put a lick. They put a lick on each other, bro.
it did not look good in
Yeah.
my opinion, but he ended up playing it out, stayed in the game, and they ended up winning it. But yeah, I thought he was gonna get fucking decapitated.
Yeah, the This was a pretty good game, or it was at the beginning. It turned out bad. But the Jags were started out 14-0.
The way it ended was not good.
Yeah, the Jags started out 14-0. They had the pick six on the batted ball that Hurts threw. That was an unfortunate pick six. And then they came out and scored a touchdown right afterwards. And then the Eagles, it was just the Eagles game from then on. You know what I mean?
Because I will say they had a chance at the end, the Jaguars, but I don't know if you saw it, but Trevor Lawrence got the ball back, and then he ended up getting sack fumble.
Yeah. I did see that.
Like, just unfortunate ending, but the Jags look better, so excited to see what they can do.
Tyler texted me, the one that was on the show. He texted me, and he was like, Trevor Lawrence is back, or the old one, I guess. And I mean, I don't think he played the greatest this game, and I can see that. But again, from what we've seen so far, this is a very tough Eagles defense. You know what I mean? And he's still a young guy. Granted, I think he should have been played better, but I don't know if I'd go too much as far to say like last year's Trevor Lawrence is back. I think he still showed signs of being good this year. So moving forward, I think they need to hit a rebound and win this next week, and he'll get his confidence back. But this is a tough Eagles defense of what we've seen so far. So,
hey man, they're 2-2. After having back-to-back first overall picks, like, you're looking better, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%.
You're competitive, like.
That's a good sign.
Compared to, like, what the Jaguar fans have been used to for pretty much their inception. Like, again, like, they're a relatively new team, I think, too, right?
I think they started
They
in
gotta be the
95.
The second newest suspension team after your team, right?
Yeah, they
Probably
started
something like that.
No, they are. They started in 95, and I think the Texans started in 02.
Yeah, so it's like you got like they've only been around for a couple years now. What is it, like 22 years?
27.
Or sorry, no, 2002, 27. Yeah, I was using your team, but it's like again, like it gives that team and that city hope that like maybe Trevor Lawrence could turn into something, and maybe one day they'll be good enough.
I've heard somebody come out and say that they think and you know how it is, people always have their takes just because in case they're right, they're gods or whatever, right? Somebody came out and saying that the Jaguars could be this year's Bengals, which I don't know if I can
honestly
agree
I don't
completely.
See it.
But
I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't.
Not just like disrespecting the Jaguars. I just hate that the Bengals Cinderella story is like, oh, like any team can do that type of thing. It's like, no,
it's not. Yeah,
it literally takes like a Cinderella story run. Like you just don't see teams going from last to fucking Super Bowls. Like,
yeah, no, it's unlikely, and I don't see it being an every year thing. You know what I mean?
No, like 100%. It's just like it's so dumb to me that it's like, oh, like we could be the Bengals this year, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Only the Bengals could be the Bengals. Like that was a crazy thing that they did. I don't know if I'm sure at some point you'll have somebody that.
And why would you want to be the Bengals anyway? They didn't even fucking win.
Yeah,
like.
right. I'm sure at some point you'll have a team that replicates that and does that, but it's not going to be.
If you want a team that you want to be, I want to be the Patriots. I want seven Super Bowls and fucking like
100%.
Like moving on here though to the Jets Steelers game. I'm tired of people acting like Zach Wilson is fucking good, dude. He sucks.
You're gonna hurt some fans.
I fucking know. I know. Your friend's a Jets fan. He believes him. But, like, I'm just gonna say, I think he is fucking terrible. Honest to God. I don't believe in him at all. Zero point. At this point, I'm gonna be negative. Like, negative fucking 50% belief. Like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. In my opinion, he's still in the boat for me of like the Trevor Lawrence. Don't know for sure, but I will say
We
last
have
year,
a whole year of him though, a whole year of him being the worst starting quarterback statistically.
but we had a whole year of Trevor Lawrence too. You know what I mean? But he's made strides
The
this
thing
year.
is Joe Flacco looked good in this offense.
No, 100. No, you.
They
you
put
got,
in Zach
Nick,
Wilson. He
Nick,
can barely complete 50% of his passes.
Nick, chill out.
For 2
You gotta-
interceptions. Like,
Nick, you got to let me finish my sentence, my guy. I think he's been dog shit. He was dog shit last year, and his first game back, he didn't look the greatest. I know they won the game, but I still put him in the Trevor Lawrence category of I don't know yet. But last year he was very bad, in my opinion. And again, like you said, Joe Flacco definitely looked better in this offense than Zach Wilson did. But
like I said, I'm tired of people saying this guy's good. Like, I don't see anything about him that makes him look good. Just keeping it real.
Who's genuinely saying he's good though? Is there people out there saying that? Because I hope not. Because I haven't.
There
seen
is.
It. They're clueless. Definitely clueless.
I'm just gonna say this real quick, like, and this may be getting to maybe a serious like topic of discussion, but I will say this: it seems like black quarterbacks, like, I don't know if it's actually a racist thing, but it definitely seems like it at this point, get absolutely zero fucking benefit of the doubt. Tua got absolutely dogged on, shit on his whole fucking career, basically. Jalen Hurts has been shit on, dogged on. Lamar Jackson, MVP winner, is still getting dogged on and shit on.
Yeah.
And you had quarterbacks like Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, Trevor Lawrence, obviously grant you again, was just 1 year so far.
Yeah.
But, like, all these guys, Baker Mayfield, like, all these guys are white quarterbacks that people consistently say, oh, like, give them a chance. Oh, another one too is that Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Right?
He got
Like,
all
all
the chances
these guys-
in the world.
Get fucking millions of chances. Oh, put him on a different team. We'll see what he can do. He still sucks fucking ass. Oh, give him another team. He may be good. Oh, he still fucking sucks ass. But then you got guys like Jalen Hurts that are being doubted, even though look at the team he's like, look how he's playing. Look how Tua's been playing this season until he got
I think the
unfortunately
biggest one for that is Lamar. Like, if
And
you're
then
going to make
Lamar,
that
like, people
argument,
are still
Lamar
developed,
gets
like-
so doubted.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if it's a racist thing. It definitely, at this point, is starting to add up to be that, because there's a lot of people that talk down on these quarterbacks. Like, those 3 quarterbacks I listed were, like, the most talked about quarterbacks, the most doubted quarterbacks. I've always seen a lot of ESPN videos, like, who has the most pressure? Tua, Lamar, Hurts, like... And then you got quarterbacks like Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield that consistently shit in their fucking pants on Sunday Night Football, on Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football, and they give all the chances in the world. Like, just give them another chance. Give them another chance. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
so sick of it. Like,
I can see that argument for sure. And
Like,
like you
stop
said,
moving goalposts and just stay it as it
Yeah.
is. Like, if they're good, they're good. If they're bad, they're bad.
I mean, you're definitely not wrong, though. There is a stigma when it comes to black quarterbacks. They get doubted more and less chances, and I don't think it's like when you said it might move into a serious topic. Like, I could see it. It's a serious topic, yes, but I think it would be like more touchy-feely if we were saying the opposite. But the black quarterbacks get so much more hate in this league, and they always have. And I say it, I've said it before, I say it all the time to my dad, like, everybody just hates on Lamar so much, and it's like, for why? The guy has proved it over and over and over again. Like, Jalen Hurts is starting to prove it. Like you said, Tua has proved it. Like, these dudes definitely need to get more recognition for what they deserve, and it does make sense what you're talking about. Like, they keep moving the goalposts when it comes to these other quarterbacks, like your Zach Wilsons, your Trevor Lawrences. Like, I do completely agree with that.
Like, I'm just saying, like, at what point is it acceptable quarterback play? Like, at what point do you say, this guy's good?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's all it boils down to.
Like,
100%.
even arguing, like, Hurts versus Tua, like, I saw, like, some people were debating, like, well, Hurts has proved it this year. Tua hasn't. It's like, Tua's beat the Bills, beat the Ravens, beat the Patriots. Like, no offense to Hurts. Like, he's looked great in his games, too, but, like, he wasn't playing, like, those high-tier teams. Like,
No, not yet, yeah.
he played literally the Super Bowl. They had some people had the Bills going undefeated. And he played a decent game to beat
Yeah.
them. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, at what point is it good enough for you?
No, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have these white quarterbacks that pass as mediocre, like, oh, he's a franchise quarterback.
Yep.
In what fucking world? Like,
Because we haven't seen it.
like that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. It's just like it bugs me so fucking much. It's like I'm so tired of talking about these shitty quarterbacks. Like they suck. They fucking suck, man.
Yeah, I mean, look at Baker. Like,
Again, first overall pick. He had one good year and then like completely shit the bed,
and it's just yeah,
falling off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And everyone wanted to give him a benefit of the doubt, like put him in the Panthers, he might do decent. It's
And
like, oh, he's still shit.
Still 1-3, yeah.
Like,
but I will say the big news moving back towards the Jets Steelers game. The big news of this game was Kenny Pickett came in. What was it at halftime?
I think so.
I don't know for sure if. I was watching Red Zone. Did he genuinely got put in, right? Like Mitch didn't get hurt or anything. They just put him in at halftime.
Yeah, the reasoning was Mike Thomas said he believed they needed a spark.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully they continue.
But he ended
to
up
keep
throwing
that...
3 picks anyway. So.
Well, yes, he did. His first pass of the NFL was a pick. He threw a ball up into double coverage.
Some people are arguing that wasn't double coverage. I'm like, are you blind?
It was definitely double coverage.
It was safety corner. That is double coverage.
They may not have been like both running the route with him, but the corner was running the route with him, and the safety has over the top help. Like, yeah, that's double coverage all day long. But
not a good throw.
I don't think this team is necessarily going to be any better with Kenny Pickett at quarterback, being he's a rookie, he's young. I think they'll still probably struggle.
The team has playmakers. That's the thing.
They do have playmakers. If they could just
Chase Claypool, Deontay
take care
Johnson,
of the ball.
Pat Freiermuth, like the tight end. Najee Harris. Granted, he hasn't been good this year.
George Pickens popped off when Kenny Pickett was in. He had 100 yards this game. They got weapons. They can do good. The quarterback, at the end of the day,
their defense looks like it's all right if they can get T.J. Watt back. But their offense, I don't know if it's the O-line, like whatever. But just I don't know. They don't. They just need
to need to take care of the ball at the end of the day. Like I think they're just turning the ball over a little bit more than they want to.
Well, they had 4 interceptions in total between 2 quarterbacks.
They just need to take care of the ball, get a little bit better quarterback play, and they could maybe be somewhat competitive. I don't know, man. I'm so back and forth on this Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett thing because I don't think Mitch is the guy, and I don't think Kenny Pickett's the guy right now. But I think you're better off at this point. Like, now that you already made the switch, just leaving Kenny Pickett in, and whatever happens this year happens at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no point. You can't do the Brian Flores flip-flop fucking bullshit. Like, you gotta just ride Pickett out at this point.
Just ride Pickett. Yep, 100%.
Either he's the guy or he's not. You're gonna find out fucking quick.
Yeah. That's true, because it's not like he's lacking playmakers, so you can get a feel for how he's gonna be. Yeah, his offensive line may suck, but...
Honestly, no offense to Kenny Pickett, but he might be one and done. No bullshit.
You think? You think
he wasn't a first-round pick, was he? He was like a second, maybe a third, wasn't he? Maybe second?
Hold on.
He's definitely not that. He's not a first-round pick, so it's like there's not a lot invested in him. And if you get, like, you're 1-3 right now. If you get a top 3, top 5 pick, are you gonna sit there and say Kenny Pickett's better than these guys coming up in another draft class? You know what I mean?
He was selected in the first round.
He was?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
100%.
What pick?
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on.
Oh, he's picked 20th.
Pick 20th. Yeah, that's what it was. It was later
he's
in the
only
first round.
quarterback, I think, wasn't he?
Something like that. Yeah.
Maybe they roll with him, but I don't know. It's like
everybody there thinks he's the guy.
I don't know, man. Like I said, if you're going top 5 pick again, like, I don't know. Like, it's a tough call.
Oh, yeah. That would make...
You got Bryce Young on the board. You got C.J. Stroud. Like,
how do you not take one of those quarterbacks?
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think he's better than those guys right now? Like, I don't know. And Mike Tomlin and the GM is going to have to think about that because right now you're 1-3. It looks like you're going nowhere.
Yeah. I think it would be a pride thing. I couldn't see them drafting back-to-back quarterbacks in the first round just based off of, like, pride, and they don't want to say they made the wrong decision. But, like, you might be right. If he comes out and doesn't do well and has playmakers,
I'm just saying, let's just put it hypothetical here. You got Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, Pat Firemove, and George Pickens. That is solid fucking weapons right there. They've all been proven players before. They played with Hall of Famer fucking Ben Roethlisberger, right?
Even at the end of his career, Big Ben still did
And
good
they
with
were
him.
looking decent.
Yeah.
They all played decent. So they know what those players are capable of with decent quarterback play.
Yep.
Correct?
Yes.
You now insert this rookie quarterback. You are 1-3 right now. If he goes out there and he throws like 5 touchdowns and like 20 interceptions, at what point do you just say, yeah, he's not the guy? Like, we're not seeing any improvement. Like, you got to see something
Yeah.
to make the pick justifiable. Otherwise, people are going to say, well, fucking fire Mike Tomlin. He's garbage now. Like, you know what I mean?
No, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, at the end of the day, it's like, he's going to have to make that decision. Like, we're picking top 2, top 3. Like, do we go quarterback or do we believe in fucking Kenny Pickett?
You might have to. Honestly, like if he comes out and has that bad of a season, yeah.
That's why it's like I'm not sitting here and saying like it's the like whatever the right move is this move. Like I'm not gonna say that because I'm not a fucking GM. I'm not a quarterback. I'm not a coach or a quarterback. Like I don't know, but I will say we've seen it once already with the fucking Arizona Cardinals when they fired their head coach. They replaced them with Cliff Kingsbury.
It worked out when they did it,
and then they picked up Kyler Murray first overall pick. Like
yeah.
I will say, like, you're just not safe in this league. Like, you have to prove something at some point.
No, 100%.
Like, Josh Rosen was fucking lost in the Cardinals offense. Lost. And then Kyler Murray was drafted, and he made it look semi-decent. And then every team that fucking Josh Rosen's gone to,
has been asked.
He's left.
Yeah.
He's literally left. He went to the Dolphins, was terrible. After that, he went on fucking practice squad. So it's like...
I think at some point this league has to get to the point to where just because you make a first-round draft pick, and we've seen this with the Raiders recently, they made all those first-round draft picks and half of them are already gone. Like, granted, some of them were for different reasons or whatever, but I think the league needs to transition more into, like, if we draft a guy in the first round and we see in 1 or 2 years he's not the guy, move the fuck on. Like, stop giving this dude 4 years just because you drafted him 3rd overall, 10th overall in the first round, like... If he ain't winning you games, move the fuck on.
Is. Like,
I mean,
if it's a cornerback, like, I'm not going to fucking sit here and give you fucking 10
of
years,
course.
like,
I mean more so like in the
like if it's a quarterback
wide receiver,
like, you
quarterback,
might give him a little bit more, like, leniency, but certain positions, you're just like, yeah, this guy's not it. Get the fuck out.
And I mean, it depends on the situation, too. Like, if you're like Justin Fields and you're in that situation with the Bears, yeah, give the dude 4 or 5 years till you get a good team around him. But if you walk into a situation like the Steelers, for instance, that has a pretty somewhat decent team all the way around, has playmakers, and you come in and shit the bed, and
that's what
especially
I'm saying. It's
if
worth noting it. It's worth noting it.
Yeah, and especially if you give the guy 2 years and he still shits the bed, move the fuck on. But I mean, I could see it after the 1 year thing. Now that you put it that way, like I could see that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's basically his audition. Like, you're either the guy or not.
Yeah.
And if you're not the guy, I don't know if you'll get another chance.
No, 100%.
We can move on here to the next game. I'm ready.
Moving on to the Cardinals and the Panthers. I picked the Cardinals. You picked the Panthers. I don't know why.
The Cardinals have been shit, too. That's the thing. Kyler Murray got paid all this money, and he doesn't look great either. I'm honestly disappointed. Like, I thought the Cardinals would be a lot fucking better, but they just haven't really fucking proven much to me. They could honestly be 1-3 at this point.
They could.
The Raiders blew the fucking game against them.
Yeah. They don't look the greatest, in my opinion. I mean, Kyler Murray is pretty much putting the team on his back at this point. I know last year, you remember they started off, what, like 8-0 or something?
Yeah, they were fucking the team that beat. I was betting on them every week.
Yeah, and then ended up like 1-7 after that. Like,
yeah.
I'm hoping it's a different story this year, and they start off slow and then come in hot at the end. But right now, they just look like a middle-of-the-pack team. Like, they got
when
playmakers.
When does Hopkins come back?
Week 6 or 7.
Because, my lord, I feel like if they get him back and they're still ass, like, it's over.
No, I agree. Yeah, the Panthers are struggling, though. I mean, Baker...
They look fucking ass, man.
Yeah, they look bad.
Holy... Matt fucking Rule is going to get fired on.
He needs to get fired. I feel like he should have been fired already, to be honest. But I did hear that Matt Rule came out and said that he's already said that Baker's still the guy. Like, I don't know why you would question if Sam Darnold's the guy over Baker. Of course, you're just going to ride with Baker. Like, I'm not going to Sam
Do
Darnold.
I want dog shit or fucking human shit? What do I
Yeah.
want? Man? That's your choices at quarterback.
Yeah.
You make
But
it.
he did come out and say that.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like my fantasy lineup.
Yeah, right? Tom Brady
Who
or
do I
Tua?
start? Oh, do I start the guy that's on the fucking bench hurt? Or do I start the guy that's already playing? Like,
yeah. I need more from the Cardinals. They look rough. And again, we've said it multiple times. I've said it. I think they just need Hopkins back, bro. Like, I'll keep saying it until he comes back.
If they get Hopkins back and they're still ass, then it's over. But
yeah, no, 100%.
If he can come in and maybe be the savior, I don't know.
I don't know at this point. I don't know what they need.
He needs to save fucking Kyler Murray.
And I know we're talking shit on
is
them, and they pulled out the dub. Like, yeah, they won, but they just haven't shown like anything with ease. Like, it seems like they're struggling with everybody, and especially a Panthers team.
And it doesn't look great when you paid all that money for fucking Kyler Murray already.
Yeah. Next we got a surprising game to me.
My lord.
First off, these afternoon games were dog
Mac
shit.
Jones is hurt. Mac Jones was hurt. Coming into this game, he's out with the ankle injury. Then they put in Brian Hoyer. He goes out with a concussion. They have to go to the fucking
Bailey
rookie quarterback.
Zappi.
Yeah. And not only that, he fucking kind of balled out.
He dotted him up, bro. Bro, this game was...
he was the first rookie quarterback to throw a touchdown this season.
Yeah.
Who would have fucking expected that?
Yeah, right. Nobody would have expected that. What was funny is halfway through this game, I was like, why are the Packers still struggling with the Patriots? They're on their third string quarterback. How are you not smoking these fools? But Bailey Zapp came in and fucking balled, I guess. Yeah.
Have you seen the photo of Bailey Zapp and fucking Mac Jones? Like, they look the exact same.
Do they really? That's funny. I'll have to look it up after the podcast.
I found it. I'll show you.
Yeah, this was surprising to me, and yeah, the Packers still won, and I might bump down the Packers a little bit if I were to do like a power rankings because of this, or not because of this, but like if I did like a power rankings, I would probably bump down the Packers a little bit because they struggled against the 1-3 Patriots. I feel like they shouldn't have struggled against them.
I don't know, man. He's having a rough go.
There's no way that's two different people.
That's all I'm saying. It looks just like him, right?
That's funny as hell.
It's like twin 1 and twin 2.
That is wild. Yeah.
I guess you could say Bill has a taste for quarterbacks.
Yeah, right?
Like, they literally look the exact same.
Again, the afternoon games for me were kind of boring as fuck. And I know that sounds bad as an NFL fan, but it was just...
There was just no games to watch. Literally no games.
Like,
the only game that was worth watching was the Raiders-Broncos, and even then, it was kind of like, eh.
Yeah. I think the Packers should have smoked the Patriots with ease, in my opinion, especially on their third-string quarterback. Do we know if Bailey Zapp's going to be the starter this week? Or is Mac Jones coming back?
Dude, I have no fucking idea.
That's a whole shit show in itself. I'd leave Bailey Zapp in. Fuck it.
I don't know, because Mac Jones, I thought was going to be out for the year.
Yeah, he's got a high ankle sprain. They made it sound pretty bad.
It made it sound like he needed like surgery and stuff, but then he ended up practicing last week. And then
I just want to say,
like they ruled him out like the day before the game, I think.
So we all know the story behind Tom Brady, right?
Yep.
How he gets drafted in the 6th round. He fucking, what is his name? Bledsoe gets injured and he comes in and becomes a starter. Is this Tom Brady 2.0? Did Bill Belichick...
It's Mac Jones 2.0. It looks literally just like Mac Jones' brother.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel you. But, I mean, I don't know. It's looking familiar. Did Bill Belichick find another one? I don't know. Could you imagine if somehow Bailey Zapp comes in, plays the rest of the year for whatever chance Mac Jones misses, or they just keep rolling with him, and he gets a winning record, and Bailey Zapp's the quarterback next year, and then they make the playoffs next year? Bill Belichick's got another fucking dynasty going.
I feel like it's hard to say, too, because Tom Brady is Tom Brady at the end of the day. Like, I feel like the thing that separates Tom Brady from Mac Jones is the fact that he could do it with fucking dog shit players, too.
No, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, he could take no-name players and turn them into something, whereas, like, Mac Jones, Billy Zapp, like, these guys always put up decent stats, and the thing is, like, just play safe Patriot style offense.
Yeah.
The same offenses that you see fucking Brian Flores had Tua playing in, the same one that fucking the Lions were playing in, which was it Jared Goff there at the time, or
Yeah.
I think it was, right? Like, it's just those weird fucking offenses where it's like you just play safe, like you just check it down, no big throws, fucking throw it to your running back 5 times a game, like, you know what I mean?
No, 100%.
Like, it's just a super generic, boring ass offense to watch, like. But
Yeah.
I don't know. He finds quarterbacks that can kind of fit that system, I guess. But
I'm just fucking around. I doubt he's Tom Brady 2.0, but it is funny because the scenario is somewhat the same.
Yeah, it's the same scenario. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but
No, he's.
I don't know. It's just like it's a hard situation too, because like their
Yeah.
offense has been fucking terrible.
And Tom Brady's 1 in a million. I mean, there's no way anybody replicates that and what happened.
I mean, just think about how hard it is to find someone in the 6th round that's productive anyway.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah, it's crazy.
Let alone a Tom Brady fucking Hall of Fame.
I feel like you might find your like 6th round, 5th round like wide receiver here and there. But for the most part, like finding a quarterback like that, like that's gonna be unheard of nowadays. Yeah, back then probably. Moving on to the Broncos.
Even
and the
Tom
Raiders.
Brady now would be drafted in the 6th round. Like the dude coming into that
Oh,
fucking
absolutely.
draft combine, like he looks so terrible. Like,
Yeah.
he
No,
ran his
100%.
40 slower than linemen. Like,
Yeah.
he
No.
would have looked like the dude that's supposed to be an accountant that just walked in for a tryout.
I think Tom Brady made the most of his situation when he got his opportunity, and that's what kept him. I mean, he's great. I'm not taking away from that, right? But most quarterbacks that get drafted in the 6th round get very few opportunities, and he probably knew that. So whenever he got the one opportunity he did, he came out, didn't make mistakes, played
I think
Patriot
not only
football.
that, it's like if he was probably a first overall pick, like first round pick or something, it might have killed his fucking vibe too. Like,
100%. Like
the fact that he felt like doubted, he had to prove people wrong.
It made him who he was.
Like that's his mindset even today, like just proving people wrong still. And it's like that honestly was probably the best thing to happen for him, was being picked so late that is like he felt so disrespected that he has to prove these people wrong, like every game, every play, every practice
100%.
play, like.
I agree.
Whereas now it's like all these quarterbacks are taking with the 5th overall pick, and he's like, I'm
Got
fucking
the
better
biggest
than you.
ego, yeah.
Like I'm the guy, you're not.
Yeah. Next we got Broncos at the Raiders. We both picked the Raiders. Raiders finally got in the win column here.
Oh Lord, finally.
Yeah, we said it before. We think the Raiders are a little bit better than their record. I'm still out on the whole AFC West, but
100%.
Broncos just are. I don't even have to get into it anymore. Like, I don't know what's going on there. I think they passed the ball a little bit better this game, but
100%.
I still don't think Russell's there. I think, he fleeced
The thing is,
Broncos.
Russell actually played a decent game, but their defense played like shit.
Yeah,
like,
the one time he plays decent.
they were like
fucking,
I think they were 5th in rushing defense, and then they gave up all the fucking yards in the world to fucking.
Yeah, I don't think they had
Josh
100.
Jacobs.
They didn't have a 100-yard rusher given up by the defense yet, and then Josh Jacobs went off.
144 yards.
So
5.1 yards a carry, like.
it just seems like they can't get all on the same page. Their team, whether it's coach and quarterback, offense and defense, like if it's
I
not
think
one, it's the
Nathaniel
other.
Hackett's fucking garbage too.
It's looking like it so far, to be honest. Maybe the Raiders can get on a hot streak here. They got the first dub in the win column. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll turn things around. I need to see more. But
You want to talk about Coach of the Year? What about the worst Coach of the Year so far?
Did we even talk about Coach of the Year?
I'm gonna talk about the odds, the like 2 episodes ago we talked about Coach of the Year odds. What do you think so far is the worst Coach of the Year so far?
Give me 1 second.
Like Nathaniel Hackett's got to be up there.
It's got to be the Bears coach, Nathaniel Hackett, or that's probably.
I'm looking at Frank Reich. Frank Reich, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
From the Colts. That's a super disappointing team too.
100%.
I honestly might put. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might put the Colts coach Frank Reich over everyone else because of how disappointing that team is.
Yeah. They
like how
definitely-
much. like how much you actually expected out of that team versus how much did you actually expect out of the
100%.
Broncos and the Bears, right?
Yeah.
Like you actually expected the Colts to be a fucking playoff contending team, and they look fucking terrible.
Terrible. For me, it's got to be between the Colts coach, the Broncos coach, Matt Rule, which he's always asked, so I don't even know if it'd be worst coach of the year. But I definitely think Nathaniel Hackett's up there. I mean,
Okay,
those
who do you think
first
gets
two
fired first?
games were
Nathaniel
ugly.
Hackett or fucking Matt Rule?
I think Matt
100%
Rule.
Matt Rule?
Yeah, I think
That's
Matt
all
Rule's
I'm
got to go. And I think they'll give Nathaniel Hackett some time because this is his first time being a head
You
coach.
just paid fucking
Yeah.
Russell Wilson all that money. Like,
yeah,
those two are tied together at this point. It's like, you better
100%.
hope.
Yeah, no, he's not going to get fired. But he doesn't look good at this moment. Like those first two games especially were just mismanaged all the way across the board.
100%.
Moving on, we got the Chiefs and the Bucks.
What
Chiefs,
a great fucking game to end tonight.
Chiefs fucking slaughtered the Buccaneers. Like, I think the Buccaneers only scored 31 in my opinion just because they were so far down. They
I
were
thought the
just
game
trying to
started
score
at
points.
8:20, but it was 8:15. So I was like watching a YouTube video, so I came in a little bit late. Put the game on. Kelsey highlight touchdown already. I'm like, well, here we go. Good start to the game. Let's go. Like,
I will say, like, I know the Chiefs has a crazy offense. They've had it for the last few years or whatever. But if the Chiefs can come out and play offense like they did in this game against a good Bucks defense, they're almost unstoppable. Yeah. Like, their offense was, they were doing
they were
things
even running the ball too, which
crazy.
is like, again, it's how I kind of talked about the Bills. Sorry, like they don't really run the ball, but it's like this game, like they were actually running the ball a little bit. They're getting that pass going, obviously, and I feel like once you get that balanced type of offense, like
it's
that's
scary.
really impossible to stop.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Like again, like even coming to this game, I think the Bucks defense was like number 2 in the league.
Yeah, they were one of the better defenses. I mean, I still think they are. I mean, every defense.
Yeah,
has
they
had
just
bad
got
games,
absolutely
but
smoked. Like he
they
had a
got
bad
smoked,
game.
yeah.
Like it is what it is. But man, like he was doing whatever the fuck he wanted. Like I remember I watched. Did you see that one where he was running with the ball and he flipped it to the end zone? Like
dude,
Jesus.
that I saw that from like 9 different angles. Somebody on Twitter posted like 4 angles of the same play, and from every angle it was just spectacular. Like I didn't even know what
Madden,
I was looking
like,
at. Like it's crazy.
Like Madden, like.
Yeah,
the dude's just unreal sometimes.
The dude's
like.
special. I mean, we've known that. He's always been special, but he definitely showed out this weekend. Tom Brady tried to make a somewhat comeback at the end. He went for it, but I think it was just too little too late. I think the Bucks
Tom
are
Brady
still going to
give
be
the ball
okay.
to fucking Leonard Fournette on the goal line at one point? That'd be nice.
Leonard finally got a touchdown this week, right?
Yeah, he got a receiving one. I'm like, man, like Tom Brady, you got a running back. Hand the fucking ball up, you greedy fuck.
I think Rashad White got a rushing touchdown, which is their backup before Leonard Fournette got a rushing touchdown. That's fucking crazy. Oh shit, that's funny. But
honestly, didn't look too bad. Like Tom Brady didn't look too bad when he had his wide receivers on together. Chris Godwin got hurt, but I think he came back. He was obviously hurt going into that game, and then he came back, and then he got hurt in the game and came back, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
So
I think he led the team in targets last night.
But it's like they're not looking bad. Like
no, I think they'll be fine.
Granted, their defense just got fucking pooped on, but it happens, you know.
I think they're fine. They're finally getting all their pieces back.
It seems like they're gonna get back in a rhythm and
100%.
probably they're gonna win the AFC or the NFC. What is that, South?
South.
Yeah,
I mean. We talked about the Falcons. I mean,
yeah. Like I said, we talked about the NFC as a whole. Like they should have an easy cakewalk into the fucking playoffs.
They'll definitely make the playoffs. I don't see why they wouldn't. I think their best chance though, with the way the NFC East is playing out, their best chance is to win the division. Because let's say for some reason,
you don't want to play the fucking Eagles.
Well, not only that, but like you don't want to have to fight for the wild card if the Giants are being competitive and the Cowboys are being competitive.
Oh yeah,
so,
I think they'll win the division easy.
No, I think so too. But,
Saints, Falcons, Bucks, and who's the other team?
Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah, like.
No, they'll win the division.
You kidding me?
I think that's why Tom Brady come back. He came back this year. He just knew he was going to make the playoffs.
He's doing fucking Baker Mayfield, Marcus Mariota, fucking Jameis Winston, or Andy Dalton.
Shit. Monday night game. We got Rams and 49ers. I hope it's a good game, man.
I hope so.
I need a good Monday night game.
The
The
thing
past
I
few have
don't.
been bad.
The thing I'm a little worried about is like the Rams. Either the Rams show up and be the Super Bowl team and just dominate them, or the fucking Rams defense plays like dog shit, like it's kind of been playing,
Well,
and the 49ers just like go all over them. You know what I mean?
one of my fantasy leagues, I'm up by like 2 points, and the guy I'm playing has Rams defense, so I really hope the Rams defense comes out and shits the bed. Like, I kind of hope it turns into a shootout. That would be great.
I think Janine is playing your friend. Yeah, she's playing your friend. It's 123.12. Janine's winning to 122.18. She's got San Fran's defense. He's got Jeff Wilson.
Oh, okay.
It's like a 1 point game.
Yeah. I'm hoping it turns into a low-key shootout, and George Kittle gets like 9 touchdowns because I need a win in my main league.
I'm gonna say I doubt it, but
I doubt it too.
I can see it being more of a defensive type game, honestly.
No, I think that's probably what it's going to lean towards. The way the 49ers have played the past few weeks, it's been a defensive game with all their games. I could definitely
I'm just
see
hoping
it.
it's a close game though. Like I don't want to just see a team that's getting blown out.
I hope it's a good game. Like, I would almost prefer a blowout, not like a one-sided blowout, but like a shootout over a defensive game, just because I need some action, because the last 2 Monday night games have been snoozes.
100%, I agree.
But
I mean that wraps it up, right?
Yeah, that wraps up week 4. Next, we'll do
run through these predictions.
Our quick little predictions. Thursday night, we have, for week 5 to kick it off, the Colts and the Broncos.
I'm already walking in my pick. Broncos.
Oh,
I'm not even going to think
goodness.
about it.
I'm going Broncos. I don't talk myself into the Colts, please. I'm away from the Colts. That's a shit game to pick between. Happens every time. All right. Next, we got Giants, Packers. Who you taking? Both 3-1. Packers struggled against the Patriots. Yes, I'm thinking about it too. That's why I asked you.
The thing is, I don't know. If Daniel Jones is playing, maybe they surprise and win. But like, if he's not playing, who's the quarterback?
I'm gonna take the Packers on this.
Yeah, I think I gotta go Packers. But I honestly like. I'm gonna say right now, this is one that I wouldn't be surprised if they win.
No, not at all. Next we got Steelers at the Bills. Bills take this.
Bills Mafia, 100%.
Next we have Chargers at the Browns. I'm gonna take the Browns.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Browns. I think the Chargers are just
The Chargers' run defense is just not there, and the Browns can literally just run it down anybody's throat. So,
I'm assuming you're gonna go Jags on this one.
Texans, Jags, picking against the Texans all year, baby. Jags, let's go.
I'm gonna go Jaguars too.
Next, we got Bears at the Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings.
Next, we got Lions at the Patriots. I think the Lions figure this shit out and finally give up 20 points a game instead of 35.3 and take a dub, so I'm taking Lions.
I'm gonna go Lions too, just because I don't know if Matt Jones is gonna play.
Yeah, that quarterback situation's fucked over there right now. Wow. Why am I thinking Saints and Seahawks? I'm taking the Saints.
See, I was gonna go Saints. I wanted to pick something different from you. I was thinking you were gonna pick the Seahawks.
Why would I
I'm gonna
pick the
go Saints,
Seahawks?
Because they've been playing decent. Like
They have not been playing decent. Fuck out of here. The Dolphins at the Jets. I'm taking the Dolphins. Fins
I
up,
think
baby.
Dolphins. Yeah, I think Teddy wins it.
Yeah.
Picked
Falcons.
every game the same so far.
Yeah. Falcons at the Bucks. Who you got?
Bucks all day. Not even thinking about it.
Tom Brady owns the Bucks, so I gotta go Bucks.
You mean the Falcons?
I mean, yeah. No. Tom Brady owns the Falcons. I gotta go Bucks. Yes, you're right. Taking Buccaneers. Next, Titans at the Commanders. I'm taking the Titans. King Henry's back. The Titans are looking better.
Man, we're gonna pick every game the same. Like,
It might look like
it. Like,
it.
this honestly feels like the most straightforward pick.
Yeah,
Been, like.
it might be. Oh, by the way, I'm 5 games behind Nick in the predictions, so that's gonna kind of suck if we end up picking the same games, but it's whatever. 49ers at the Panthers. I'm taking the 49ers.
I already locked my pick in 49ers.
Eagles at the Cardinals. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, gotta go Eagles.
Cowboys at the Rams. Who you picking?
I'm gonna go Rams.
God damn it.
I mean, what do you expect out of me? The only game we can really debate on is the Seahawks Saints. If you think Geno Smith plays like Geno Smith from last week,
I'm going Rams.
even this game too, we can debate on. You're probably gonna go Bengals, right?
Hello, somebody's calling. Bengals at the Ravens. Who you got?
I'm going Ravens.
I picked Lamar for MVP. I'm not voting against Lamar this year. Ravens are winning the game.
All right, well there you go. That was like the only game we're gonna debate on, probably. So I'm taking Chiefs.
Fuck, Raiders, Chiefs. I'm taking Chiefs.
Yeah,
no way
there
we
you
picked
go.
the same.
Like I said, there's only one to two games where you could like literally logically pick the other team.
Nah, there's I think the Bengals and Ravens. I mean, I could maybe pick the Bengals. But
That's what I'm saying. Like you could take the Bengals, the Lions Patriots. You could take the Patriots maybe, but again, like, we don't know about Mac Jones. And then the other one was maybe the Chargers.
Yo, that's funny. Somebody just put a Joe Burrow emote in chat. I love that. I need that. I need to subscribe. That's fire.
Joe Burr.
Joe Burr. Yeah, no, I feel you. This is the first week, right, that we picked all the same?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
Somebody just... Wait a minute. There's no way.
What happened?
Oh, nothing. Never mind. Yeah, well, that wraps up our predictions for week 5. I just wanted to look at something real quick. I know we talked about this earlier. The Eagles are playing the Cardinals. I know that's not like the Bills or the Ravens or anything like that, but that's a pretty decent matchup. I want to look at their schedule. Can you not just... Dude, I am lost.
I'll just pick a team schedule.
Maybe. Here we go. You can probably go here.
Oh, yeah, wait. You're trolling. Go back to the page. Okay, my God, you're gonna go the long way.
Is there a long way? Hold on.
I don't know if you go back to the schedule. Go back to schedule.
Schedule?
Like what we have, what we pulled up.
Yeah.
Go back to that.
Okay.
And then, mine has team schedule at the top. Yeah, yours has it too. Team schedule. It's right next to Liga, on that white bar.
Oh, I'm a fucking idiot, bro.
Yeah. And then you just click that.
There we go.
And
Sorry, technical difficulties. So they play the Cardinals, the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Texans. Oh my God. Only one you can maybe make the argument for is the Packers.
See, they could go like fucking 12-0.
God damn.
Like that is a kind of a cakewalk. No offense.
Yo, they do have a easy ass schedule. Holy shit.
They honestly might go undefeated.
Yo, could you imagine? I mean, yeah, but
I
even if
honestly
they
could see it.
I could too. But even if they go undefeated, you know damn well everybody's gonna say, well, they only went undefeated because they got an easy schedule. Which, I mean, they're not wrong, but
I mean,
it's still the NFL.
Okay, like slow down. Go farther by game.
Okay.
Cardinals, I can see maybe a toss up. Cowboys, no way they lose that. No way they lose the Steelers. No way they lose the Texans. Like, unless Dak Prescott's playing week 6.
Well, only thing I worry about those is their division matchups, right? Like
they could be toss up. Like they should win that so easy. To be honest.
Commanders, they already smoked once. They
like Colts, unless the Colts figure it the fuck out,
they should win.
No
that.
way.
Packers will be a tough one.
It could be a tough one, depending on how good Aaron is at this point.
Titans, if Derrick Henry's going dummy, could be a toss-up. Because normally by then he's going crazy. But even
I see them winning all these games. Like I can see them winning them all. The Giants again, like another division game, but I don't see how they can stop them. The Bears look like shit. The Cowboys honestly kind of scares me because I feel like they could lose one of those games. But the Saints, unless their defense wins them that game, I don't think they'd lose that.
And then the Giants again.
And then it's like you got the Giants and Jets. Like last preseason, but you got the
that's
Giants
preseason.
last week. Like, yeah, I honestly could see them going undefeated all the way to the playoffs, and then you'd have to actually play someone there. So I don't know what
That's
happens then, but
crazy.
like, that's actually such a crazy schedule.
Such a it's high key easy. I mean, if
I'm
you
gonna
think about
Google it
it,
real quick. What's the easiest schedule? Like, they
it
gotta
might be theirs, bro. The easiest strength schedule, because if you think about it, the hardest team they would have, like looking at it before the season, would have been the Vikings, the 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 Packers, and the Titans and the Colts. But we see how the Titans and the Colts are playing right now. So yeah, no, that's crazy. I didn't realize it was like that.
Wait. Oh yeah, so they're the second easiest schedule. There you go.
Who has the first? Texans?
Giants.
Giants. Gotcha.
And that's honestly kind of sad considering that it's a division opponent.
Well,
So
I think
that means
it's
the division is
yeah,
gonna be shit.
it's because I think it's based off of last year's
They
record.
they also play the same teams though. That's the thing.
They play the same teams, and the NFC East is always kind of bad, mediocre, whatever. You know what I mean? So that's why I
The
feel
top
like
5 easiest strengths of schedule are Giants, Eagles, Colts, Bears, Lions.
yeah,
The Chiefs by far have the hardest one.
yeah, they play some tough teams.
The Dolphins are at 19th, not bad.
That's pretty good. All
They're
right,
just on the harder side.
I think that is gonna be all for episode 8 of the Blue 82 podcast. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, talk to us, let us know what you hate about us. We don't care. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching the show, and we hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode. Nick, you got anything?
Shout out to everyone that watches and supports in any way possible. It's much appreciated, and like you said at the beginning, wouldn't be able to do it without you guys.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thanks for watching.
Let's go. Hopefully, there's a healthy week of football.
Yeah. Right. Peace.